Stephen, it's good to have you back. The question everyone wants to know is how high the price of gasoline could go. What are we in for here?
Okay, so we're looking at an all-time high now of $4.20. Keep in mind that we're still consuming winter-grade gasoline. Beginning next month, refiners are going to have to start to supply summer-grade gasoline. Now, this is a blend of gasoline, which is more expensive to produce. The typical rollover fee, or tax, shall we say, is about 30 cents. So now, as we look ahead to the summer, $4.20, the current average, we can tack on another 30 cents as we roll into summer. That brings us to $4.50. Now, that is if crude oil prices remain at current levels. Right now, we're assigning a 16% probability that by June, oil prices could be upwards of $150 a barrel.
What does that translate to per gallon, Stephen?
Yeah, so at the pump, that's going to come to $5.05 to as high as $5.20 on a national average, which is very important because at that level, we're now at an all-time high adjusted for inflation. Right. The highest prices we ever paid were in 2008, adjusted for inflation of $5.22. At $150 a barrel, we'll certainly be able to challenge that high.
Right.
So a significant amount of pain coming for drivers.
Where do we make up for the oil we're not getting?
It's a great question. We have 1.5 million barrels a day of crude oil production here in the United States that we're not utilizing. Before COVID, we were at a record high of 13.1 million barrels a day. We've been holding it around 11.5, 11.6 million barrels a day. So there is that oil backlog, but it doesn't seem that we're going to be getting that. The administration has made it clear that this kind of capital investment in fossil fuels is not welcomed. So Russia, crude oil and petroleum products, is the fourth largest supplier of foreign oil to the United States. So clearly we're going to have to go and access more oil. We get a lot of oil, the majority of our foreign oil from Canada. The next is Mexico, and number 3 is Saudi Arabia. So without this Russian oil, I want to warn people that if you are planning to take vacation that requires a flight this summer, book your tickets now, because Monroe Refinery here in South Philadelphia is the most important refinery on the East Coast for manufacturing jet fuel. So they get the majority of their crude oil from Russia. Now they're going to go out into the market and have to seek it elsewhere, which is certainly going to be a strain on their production and certainly going to be a boost to prices for jet fuel. Now, obviously, that's going to have to transfer over to airline tickets.
Well, I think we're just beginning to see all of the places this will impact us, talking about trucking fuel and aviation fuel as well. Let's get a little bit from the president today, who talked, as you did just a second ago, Stephen, about domestic production. We'll get your comments after.
The United States produces far more oil domestically than all the European countries combined. In fact, we're a net exporter of energy. So we can take this step when others cannot.
So where are we on this, Stephen? I mean, can we produce enough to make up the difference here? I mean, you mentioned what we do produce here, but none of this sounds, I guess, easier said than done. All of it sounds easier said than done. This isn't like we can flip a switch on this, is it?
Well, first, let's address the president's words. He was false. We are not a net exporter. We used to be before he entered office. In fact, the 52 weeks prior to his taking office, the United States was a net exporter 2 out of every 3 weeks. So every barrel that we imported, we exported 2.2 barrels. In Biden's first 57 weeks in office, we've turned into a net importer where we are importing energy.
So can we flip the switch on it, Stephen? Can we flip the switch on it and produce more?
Well, certainly we have what's called drilled but uncompleted wells. These are DUCs. So these wells are already drilled. They just haven't been tapped. So that is a resource. Now, we've been drawing down those inventories of this reserve of drilled but uncompleted wells. Right. But there is that source of oil. But no, it's not going to be a absolute offset. Flipping the switch. It will take time. And this is an industry that has been put on the sideline for the last 2 years with a lack of investment. So we are paying, or we are sowing the seeds, reaping what we sowed about 2 years ago in this industry.
Stephen Schork, founder of the Schork Report and energy analyst. Good to have you again. Thanks for the time.
Great. Thanks to be here.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.